Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Record Art. I'm your host, Arthur Bueno. This is the fifth episode of the series, and I am here today exhibiting this record that is near and dear to my heart because it had captured a lot of my youth growing up. So this is Dashboard Confessional's The Swiss Army Romance, and you can already tell like what color vinyl this is already, because I fucked up and I didn't pre-order the record with all the different variants. But I figured, it's a Dashboard record. It's the very first record he released in Drive Thru Records years ago. I had the CD. I played the shit out of it, and I was like, you know what? I don't care. It's Dashboard. That's all that matters to me. So here I was sort of, kind of in my youth really looking, for a record that I could relate to. And, looking back now, I was really intrigued by the front cover of these records. At the time when growing up as an emo kid and kind of later like finding about punk and hardcore being sort of intertwined in that, kind of genre of music. This was the first person I've ever known to actually have done alternate tunings and sing, on acoustic with alternate tunings. And Chris Carrabba has definitely put in a lot of work prior to this project when he made this become his, main project. So this is the Swiss Army Romance. This is one of the records that I grew up with. And here, when we had records, the front covers, it was always, they had like film photographs that had like these weird color palettes. There's a lot of like this greenish kind of color and this sort of yellowish sort of like kind of palettes and such. Okay. One thing that I kind of I'm actually going to take out the plastic on this because this is actually the the plastic for when you open it, and I don't know if I can take it out, but I don't really care too much. I really just want the record itself, and I probably already messed it up already, but it's okay. It was used. You can already see like right in the corner there's like a little like crack, little fold. You guys can hate me for this, but I'm sorry. It's my record. I do what I want. Okay. So we don't have any kind of those like, distracting sort of like stickers and text. I did buy it for like $17. And it was actually at the Red Skull Records here in Connecticut. I don't know if it's in like not Wethersfield, but Wallingford, I believe. But anyway, so right here it kind of film photography, really good color in the palette, a lot of sort of out of focus situations here. This area quite a bit. I mean, the most focus you can get really is here. It looks like this was photographed using, a regular 35 millimeter camera. It doesn't have that tack sharpness, and I think if you can see right here in the corner or the side of the image, this has the most detail. I mean, if you don't have the text, right, it just looks like a regular image. But since you have that, it sort of just completes it. So I can see where I can see where the what do you call this, the space right here for that. It looks like it's a Helvetica font too. I think don't know if you can see this. You can also see some of the dirt on this photograph. So they didn't touch it up. Yeah, there's like little dust and scratches here. And I promise you, that's not from the the record, like the print. It actually looks like there's dust and scratches here, and I'm betting money that they kept that for aesthetics reasons. Not too much to say really about this. It being kind of the shapes right here, kind of nice. If you look at it from afar, I'm kind of just looking at the image from afar and looking at it on my screen right here. It looks cool, but if you look at this though, there's so many, like, there's a couple of things that are kind of wrong with it. Like right here, that's a little distracting right there. If they had covered that up, that's the hottest image or part of the image here. And then you got that. So I don't know where your eye goes to. Does it go by the colors right here, or does it go right here? I mean, if you look back and you just sort of you can clearly see the font, like the title of the band and the title of the record. Huh. Not too sure. Like, I did look at it when I was young and I was like, man, I kind of like that, And here's the close up of the the wheel. So again, if you just take out the font or the lettering, it's just a regular image, right? But if you add in the title tracks, again, it doesn't look like it was photographed. I mean, I don't know if the lens that they had was that tack sharp, and they probably used like E6, slide film E6 situation here. You know what I mean? And it kind of got all these funky ass colors and stuff, which gave it the aesthetic at the time. A lot of photographers at the time that were photographing for these bands were using that process. So there's really not much I can really say about this image. I mean, when you look at right here, there's sort of this common like calmness, and again, it is Dashboard Confessional. You know what I mean? On the very first song, I believe, or the second song, the sharp hint of new tears. I think it talks about him confessing his things by himself, in his car, in the driver's seat. So Dashboard Confessional is a very, very appropriate name for a record like this. It does sound like confessions. All right. Okay, I don't know where to start here. Okay, so this is the front cover. So the record sleeve, the sleeve itself, I guess, is the lyric sheet. So let's see. Okay. On the way home, this car hears my confessions. I think tonight I'll take the long way. Yeah. Dashboard Confessional. All right, so you can see how the layout of this it's fantastic, man. I mean, A lot of details, a lot of close-ups. And if you can see here, as I look at the image, it's very tack sharp. Okay, very tack sharp. And again, it's one of those situations where, slide film was used and they sort of developed it and looking to, I think they did like regular developer on slide. Just that's all I can really see about that. I mean, the colors are very funky. You can see it right there. It's like there's no detail at all right there. It's just like blotches of like color, and like the contrast is just really bad. But that's the aesthetic, and you can see right here in this image, it's very blown out. It's like really fucked. I remember at the drive-in, I think did a photograph, or if it was Mars Volta, did a photograph of same thing, of like a bus. It was this Omar and Cedric. And this is a very young, Chris Carrabba, man. I'm going to tell you right now. This is very young Chris Carrabba. But there were so many images at the time that so emo, like with the haircuts and shit. Very, very boxy. We didn't have the scenester haircuts. We had very like boxy, like Morrissey like kind of cuts there. Pompadourish sort of situation lookalikes. So I noticed something here too, right? Okay. So if you look right here in the front of this record holder, sleeve, whatever. So you can see that, like, the 16:9 sort of situation here, right? Okay. That's just so that they can keep the shape of the of it. And this is what I loved about this, these records, the way how they were designed. It's very square. They're really looking at graphics and aesthetics and sort of design here. It's really, really nice. So when you look at it, it's just like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, that's fucking fantastic. And the thing that I saw they had trouble with, it looks like, is this part. This part. I don't know if is that even a line? Yeah, that's a line. So that top part is aligned right there, right? Okay. Huh. That's very interesting. Here it's almost as if they used a 6x6, like a medium format camera for these images, and they used 35mm for this, because it doesn't really have that sharpness that it has on these ones, man. You would really have to open up that aperture to get, I mean, this like sort of beautiful kind of situation here. And this was a common like image in my youth. I don't know what it was. Like this old like vintage style like kind of like designs and stuff. But damn, Yeah, I mean, they photographed this in some sort of abandoned, like, junkyard or something. I don't know if you can see right here. If you see right here in this section, when you guys pick up this record, I don't know if there's someone right there. It looks like there's somebody right there. I could be wrong. mean, this right here, that's like, I love it. I mean, I go nuts for shit like this. I don't know why. Let's go look at the record. I mean, the record is not all that impressive looking, I guess, but look at that. So this is the image of this right here. B. But if you really think about it, I think I made the right choice of buying the variant just in black. Because there is like a splatter variance. There's a couple of variants there. It does not like coincide with what you see here by design. And it could have ruined it for me in like the consistency and such. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a consistency of just having the black variant here, and I don't know, man. Like that seems like it creates a relationship. It's very like together, you know. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. So I guess that's all I can really talk about this record. To sort of say, be able to buy something in vinyl form of my youth was pretty exciting to kind of go over and listen and sort of like think about it and like just go back into memory lane and like remember like what it felt like listening to this record. There's a lot of nostalgic feelings about this, and the production of it was just really like straightforward, you know. Chris Carrabba on guitar and doing like, you know, like overdubs on some vocals and stuff. But I tell you this though, this image is very enticing. It being because this right here sort of puts it together. That font was the best font you can actually have for the front cover of this record. And I'm still kind of like wondering. You can actually see there's sort of a line right here, like a little scratch from I think the film. It might have been when probably, I don't know if it was on the sprockets or whatnot, but I don't know what it does, what it would have done. I'm thinking development, maybe when they did the squeegee to like dry it out, they scratched. There's just like this line right here. But it printed out okay. I mean, I just know that like they looked at the image and were just like, that's it, you know, let's blow it up. Again, it's a 35 millimeter image, man. They couldn't have that couldn't have not been that sharp, you know. It's not that sharp because of the lens that they were using. I'm betting it was like probably a 50. It could be like a 35 maybe, I don't know. But they didn't get that macro kind of situation there. But I think it did well. It did well for what it needed for this record, for this design, because they needed this. Because the image alone, like, no, that's a bad idea. The image alone, it doesn't really do anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't really do anything at all. But like, there you go. So that pretty much does it for me on this record. You know, I like it. I do like the aesthetics. I like what they were going for, but there was a couple of like misses onto it. You know, it's like just this, you know, and I mean, it's the same image, you know, and it's just really just straight to the point. They just needed something to look good, to have the viewer be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Anyway, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want videos like this in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching Record Art with me, your host, Arthur Bueno. See you guys later.